Recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's an honor to be here today to offer this MTR. If we adopt the motion to recommit, we will instruct the House Committee on Veterans Affairs to consider an amendment to H.R. 1836, which ensures members of the armed forces granted a general discharge under honorable conditions solely for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine are eligible for the GI Bill education benefits of which the Speaker just spoke about. I therefore ask unanimous consent to include the text of the amendment in the record immediately prior to the vote on the motion to recommit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on August 24, 2021, the Secretary of Defense issued a directive requiring mandatory COVID-19 vaccination for all service members, including those in the Ready Reserve and the National Guard. Despite the challenges this vaccine mandate currently faces in court, the Defense Department had proceeded to discharge those who refuse the vaccine. Hundreds of soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Guardians have already been discharged, and as many as 20,000 service members remain at risk over being involuntarily removed from service. It's outrageous. To prevent those who have refused the vaccine from being dishonorably discharged, Congress included a provision in the fiscal year 2022 National Defense Authorization Act limiting discharges for failure to receive the COVID-19 vaccine to either an honorable discharge or a general discharge under honorable conditions. This change succeeded in stopping further disciplinary actions or court-martial for those who refused the vaccine. However, it potentially leaves many veterans in limbo between leaving the service with full benefits or having their education benefits stripped as they walk out the door. As many of my veteran colleagues in this chamber know, those service members who received the general discharge under honorable conditions are ineligible for the Montgomery and post-9/11 GI Bill benefits due to restrictions Congress implemented in 2011. While this change was intended to open eligibility status to members of the National Guard, there will now be a group of veterans who have served honorably up until this point of refusing COVID-19, who will now have their education benefits completely wiped out. For those who may not know the full breadth of education benefits entitled to a veteran, let me give you just a couple of items. A veteran who has served at least 36 months on active duty is entitled to 100% of post-9/11 GI benefits. That includes full tuition coverage for public schools, or roughly $26,000 annually for private education or apprenticeships.
The gentleman from Wisconsin is recognized.
That veteran also receives a monthly housing allowance which varies by location by $1,000 annually to cover books and other school supplies. Add that up and we're talking well over $100,000 worth of education benefits. And let's be clear on who this is truly affecting. Mr. Speaker, we're not talking about recruits who fresh out of basic training or those discharged at the MEP station. These are men and women who have done their time, who have paid their dues, and who have served with distinction up until the point of refusing this vaccine. And now we're going to tell them that we don't care how spotless their record may have been beforehand. That's because they made a moral, ethical, and even religious objection to a vaccine. Those who have fought to defend our country should not be deprived of the benefits they so rightly deserve simply for refusing to comply with this divisive and potentially unlawful vaccine mandate. My motion to recommit corrects this disparity by ensuring any member of the armed services who receives a general discharge under honorable conditions solely for the refusal of the COVID-19 vaccine is entitled to education benefits. We are a country that rewards our heroes, not punishes them, and this motion to recommit makes sure of that. And I urge the adoption of this motion to recommit